Hey everybody, it is Thursday, March 12th, 2015, and I just got back from Weight Watchers. I had a weigh-in only because my leader had a sick daughter to contend with today, and I guess it was just too soon notice to try and get another sub for the meeting. But this was the first time I've been to at least weigh in the past 2 weeks. Last week we didn't have a meeting, or I didn't go because of the snow and ice conditions. I could have found another meeting, but I just was off track and not really motivated and just having some weirdness going on with me. So I didn't go. So this week I did weigh in. I was up like I expected. I was up 1.6 since 2 weeks ago. So it's not terrible, but it's not great either. I definitely am back on track now. I have good food in the house. I'm actually using my e-tools again. It was kind of like, hey, I earned the free e-tools. I need to use them, you know? So I had kind of a wake up call the other day. Just feeling gross and not liking how I was looking in my clothes. So back on track. Anyway, so I got 2 weeklies this week since I didn't go last week, and the first one is about eating food or your feelings, and I know that that's something that's definitely happened before to me. Honestly, it's kind of like, oh, you have an emotion, let's eat. Let's eat it. Let's eat to deal with that. Even when it's happy, even when I'm happy. I have caught myself celebrating the emotion by eating something special. So I have been working on this for a long time by trying to just feel the emotion and express it however I want to. I feel I need to fully express the emotion. If I'm happy and I want to scream, but I don't because I feel like that's socially awkward, I find a place where I can go and actually scream and jump up and down and celebrate and revel in the happiness that I'm feeling. Same with if I'm sad or upset, I focus on a release of some sort. And normally for me, that's crying or yelling or, venting my feelings out. But when I find that when I focus on doing that, and not trying to bury it and subdue it with food or by not focusing on it, then I'm less likely to overeat. This week is about mindful eating, and that's definitely something that is tough to do, especially with technology and TV, these days. And especially when I'm eating by myself. A lot of the times my husband goes out of town and I'll be home by myself eating, and I don't want to eat in silence. Just, I don't. And I can't have people come over every night that my husband's not here to eat with me. So I will have the TV on. But and I do eat lunch, with the computer or my cell phone, or, I'm always doing something, so I don't know. This one's really tough for me. When I have somebody there to eat with, I'm much better at it. But at home by myself, I eat breakfast at my desk where I'm sitting right now while I'm doing work. I eat lunch while I'm watching TV. I eat dinner sometimes in front of the TV as well. This one I'm not so sure about. Suggestions in here say, to eat slowly, or no, I'm trying to say, turn off your cell phone and put it out of reach and out of sight. I think that's funny because no one's gonna do that. Leave the serving dishes on a counter in the kitchen, so you must consciously choose to go back for more. I've done that before, and that does sometimes help. Or I will only cook enough for one serving or one meal so that I don't even have the option of seconds. I've done that before. Always sit when you eat. Well, I'm definitely always sitting. Take small bites and chew well. I cannot get into that whole. Remember, like in Full House, they wanted Danny Tanner wanted the kids to chew like each bite like 24 times or something ridiculous. That's not happening. I think I've tried it once and like it's just stupid. I've never understood why somebody would say that. I mean, if I'm an adult and I chew something 5 times and I feel like I can swallow it without choking, I think that should be good enough. Uh, Obviously, throwing things in your mouth and swallowing them is not advised. It is a choking hazard. But you know what I mean, you know? Like I take small bites. I don't know. I I think sitting up and chewing, like not being hunched over and shoveling, like that would make a bigger difference at times. If I start being not as mindful, then I'll notice maybe I'm more hunched over and I'm not actually swallowing before I start shoving the next piece. That I can understand. Like take a bite, sit back, chew it, enjoy it, and then have another. Like that sort of slowing down and chewing I can understand, but I cannot understand the whole like, oh, let me take this one piece, this tiny piece, and only eat it and chew it 20 times so I know I won't choke. You can still choke. I mean, hello, we can choke on water. Anyway. It also said to add some tips or actions that you hear in the meeting, but since we didn't have a meeting, I don't have any of those tips to add. So I think the homework this week, it's not super clear, but it says choose one strategy to encourage mindful eating this week. And last week's was write a small strategy you'll use to keep yourself from reaching for food when you aren't hungry. So I guess I better get to it. I have not done this. I just got it. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll think about it and come right back. Okay, the magic of videotaping. I'm back. And I have some ideas. I did my homework, I guess. So for the eating food or eating your feelings week, it said write a small strategy you'll use to keep yourself from reaching for food when you aren't hungry. And I wrote to write down or think, aka pause, about what made you think you were hungry. So when I'm standing there staring at the cupboard, I'm like, oh, there's nothing in here I really want. Why am I even here? To like actually answer that question. Because I do ask myself that at least sometimes. And then for this week's strategy for mindful eating, I am going to put social media and communicating with others on hold while I'm eating. So I don't mind if there's like TV or, you know, something going on in the background, like background noise. But if somebody Facebook messages me, text messages me, calls me, you know, any of that sort of interaction, I'm going to put on hold while I'm eating. They can wait until I'm done. You know, it's not a big deal. They'll still be there. They'll still be your friend. And unless it's an emergency, which, let's face it, if it's an emergency, you'll know because they'll call. It'll be an actual phone call. Like, oh my God, people actually use the phone for phone calls. And they will call probably multiple times if you don't answer. At least that's what I do. And that's what I think a lot of my friends would do in emergency situations. So I would love to hear what you guys would do for these 2 weeks. Oh, and also just a little update here. The house selling is going pretty well. We have some interest in our house. Nothing has gotten put in writing yet, at least officially. We've had one offer come in, but it's not, we haven't like accepted or rejected it yet. We're still kind of negotiating. So that's really exciting. And we have 2 more weeks. Oh my God, 2 more weeks until we move, and my stress levels are gonna be a level 50 out of 10. Whew. But that's okay. I know I can get through it. I have 2 more meetings that I can attend this month, They might not be free this month, but I don't even care. So that's going on with me. What's going on with you? Huh? I really love the comments. Even though there's not many, I have been loving reading them and receiving them. And I'm so happy to hear that you guys are motivated and excited for Weight Watchers too. So see you, hopefully less of me next week. Bye.